System of a Down. System of a Down, also known as SoaD or simply System, is an American heavy metal band formed in Glendale, California in 1994. It currently consists of members Serj Tankian lead vocals, keyboards Daron Malakian guitar, vocals, Shavo Odadjian bass, backing vocals, and John Dolmayan drums, who replaced original drummer Andy Khachaturian in 1997. The band achieved commercial success with the release of 5 studio albums, 3 of which debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200. System of a Down has been nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, and their song B.Y.O.B won a Grammy Award for Best Hard Rock Performance in 2006. The band went on hiatus in 2006 and reunited in 2010. Other than 2 new songs in 2020, Protect the Land and Genocidal Humanoidz, System of a Down has not released a full-length record since the Mezmerize and Hypnotize albums in 2005. The band has sold over 40 million records worldwide. All members of System of a Down are of Armenian descent, being born to Armenian immigrants or immigrating from Armenia themselves. History. Soil 1992–1994. Serj Tankian and Daron Malakian attended Rose and Alex Polibo's Armenian school as children, although due to their 8-year age difference they did not meet until 1992, while working on separate projects at the same recording studio. They formed a band named Soil with Tankian on vocals and keyboards, Malakian on vocals and guitar, Dave Khachaturian, who later played in the Apex Theory/MT Helium on bass, and Domingo Dingo Laranio on drums. The band hired Shavo Odadjian, another Rose and Alex Polibo's alumnus, as manager, although he eventually joined Soil as a bassist. In 1994, after only 1 live show at the Roxy and 1 jam session recording, Khachaturian and Laranio left the band. Demo tapes and signing 1994–1997. After Soil split up, Tankian, Odadjian, and Malakian formed a new band, System of a Down. The group took its name from a poem that Malakian had written titled Victims of a Down. The word victims was changed to system because Odadjian believed that it would appeal to a much wider audience, and also because the group wanted their records. Odadjian switched from guitar to bass and passed on his managerial duties to Velvet Hammer Music and Management Group and its founder David "Bino" Benveniste. The band recruited drummer Andy Khachaturian, an old-school friend of Malakian and Odadjian, who had played with Malakian in a band called Snowblind during their teens. In early 1995, System played as Soil at the Café Club Fizz Do Do, a nightclub in Los Angeles. Shortly after the event, System of a Down made what is known as Untitled 1995 demo tape, which was not commercially released but appeared on file-sharing networks around the time of the band's success with Toxicity about 6 years later. Demo tape 2 was released in 1996. At the beginning of 1997, System of a Down recorded their final publicly released demo tape 3. In mid-1997, drummer Khachaturian left the band because of a hand injury. He subsequently co-founded the Apex Theory, which included former Soil bassist Dave Khachaturian. Khachaturian was replaced by John Dolmayan. The band's first official and professionally recorded song was on a collection called Hi Inc. We're Armenian in English, an Armenian genocide recognition compilation in 1997. After playing at notable Hollywood clubs such as the Whiskey A Go Go and Viper Room, the band attracted the attention of producer Rick Rubin, who asked them to keep in touch. Showing great interest, the group recorded demo tape 4 near the end of 1997, specifically to be sent to record companies. Rubin signed the group to his American/Columbia Records, and with engineer Sylvia Massey, System began laying down tracks that would eventually be released on their debut album. I loved them, Rubin recalled. They were my favorite band, but I didn't think anyone was going to like them apart from a small, like-minded group of people like me who were crazy. No one was waiting for an Armenian heavy metal band. It had to be so good that it transcended all of that. In 1997, the group won the Best Signed Band Award from the Rock City Awards. Self-titled album 1998-2000. In June 1998, System of a Down released their debut album, System of a Down. They enjoyed moderate success as their first singles Sugar and Spiders became radio favorites, and the music videos for both songs were frequently aired on MTV. After the release of the album, the band toured extensively, opening for Slayer and Metallica before making their way to the second stage of Ozfest. Following Ozfest, they toured with Fear Factory and Incubus before headlining the Snowcore tour with Puya, Mr. Bungle, The Cat, and Incubus providing support. In November 1998, System of a Down appeared on South Park's Chef Aid album, providing the music for the song Will They Die For You. Near the end of the song, Tankian can be heard saying, "Why must we kill our own kind?" a line that would later be used in the song Boom. Although System of a Down is credited on the album, South Park character Chef does not introduce them as he does most of the other artists featured on the record. Toxicity and Steal This Album. 2001-2003. On September 3, 2001, System of a Down had planned on launching their second album at a free concert in Hollywood as a thank you to fans. The concert, which was to be held in a parking lot, was set up to accommodate 3,500 people. However, an estimated 10,000 to 15,000 fans showed up. Because of the large excess number of fans, the performance was canceled by fire marshals just before the group took the stage. No announcement was made that the concert had been canceled. Fans waited for more than an hour for the group to appear, but when a banner hanging at the back of the stage that read System of a Down was removed by security, the audience rushed the stage, destroying all the band's touring gear, approximately $30,000 worth of equipment, and began to riot, throwing rocks at police, breaking windows, and knocking over. The riot lasted 6 hours, during which 6 arrests were made. The band's manager, David Bino Benveniste, later said that the riot could have been avoided if the group had been permitted to perform or had they been allowed to make a statement at the concert regarding the cancellation. System of a Down's scheduled in-store performance the next day was cancelled to prevent a similar riot. The group's big break arrived when their second album, Toxicity, debuted at #1 on the American and Canadian charts, despite the events of 9/11. The album has eventually achieved 3x multi-platinum certification in the United States. It was still on top in America during the week of the 9/11 attacks, and the political environment caused by the attacks added. The song was taken off the radio as it contained politically sensitive lyrics according to the 2001 Clear Channel memorandum at the time, such as "I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide." Regardless, the video gained constant play on MTV, as did the album's second single, Toxicity. Even with the controversy surrounding Chop Suey, which earned a Grammy nomination, System of a Down still received constant airplay in the United States throughout late 2001 and 2002 with Toxicity and Aerials. In May 2006, B.O.B listed Toxicity in the number 14 slot in the 40 Greatest Metal Songs. In 2001, the band went on tour with Slipknot throughout the United States and Mexico. Following a performance in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Odadjian was allegedly harassed, ethnically intimidated, and was physically assaulted by security guards backstage, who then dragged him out of the venue. Odadjian received medical attention from police and later filed a suit against the security company. Despite the incident, the tour was a success, and System of a Down and Slipknot went on the Pledge of Allegiance tour together with Rammstein in 2001. In late 2001, unreleased tracks from the Toxicity sessions made their way onto the internet. This collection of tracks was dubbed Toxicity Roman II by fans. The group released a statement that the tracks were unfinished material and subsequently released the final versions of the songs as their third album, Steal This Album, which was released in November 2002. Steal This Album resembled a burnable CD that was marked with a felt-tip marker. About 50,000 special copies of the album with different CD designs were also released, each designed by a different member of the band. The name of the album is a reference to Abbie Hoffman's counterculture book, Steal This Book, as well as a message to those who leaked the songs onto the internet. The song Inner Vision was released as a promo single and received constant airplay on alternative radio. A video for Boom was filmed with director Michael Moore as a protest against the war in Iraq. Mezmerize, Hypnotize, and Hiatus 2004-2006. Between 2004 and 2005, the group recorded the follow-up to Steal This Album, a double album, which they released as separate installments 6 months apart. The releases notably included album cover artwork by Malakian's father, Daron Malakian, and were designed to connect the two separate album covers. The first album, Mesmerize, was released on May 17, 2005 to favorable reviews by critics. It debuted at #1 in the United States, Canada, Australia, and all around the world, making it System of a Down's second #1 album. First week sales exceeded 800,000 copies worldwide. The lead single B.Y.O.B, which questions the integrity of military recruiting in America, worked its way up the Billboard modern rock and mainstream rock charts, and would go on to win the 2006 Grammy Award for Best Hard Rock Performance. Question was released as the next single, with Shavo Odadjian co-directing the music video. Following the album's release, the band toured extensively throughout the United States and Canada, with the Mars Volta and Bad Acid Trip supporting. The second part of the double album, Hypnotize, was released on November 22, 2005. Like Mesmerize, it debuted at #1 in the US, making System of a Down, along with the Beatles, rappers Tupac and DMX, the only artists to ever have two studio albums debut at #1 in the same year. Hypnotize was released as the lead single and was followed by Lonely Day and Vicinity of Obscenity, all three of which were also released as EP, including several previously unreleased cover songs as well as a collaboration with the Wu-Tang Clan. Kill Rock and Roll was released as the final promotional single, whereas on System of a Down's previous albums most of the lyrics were written and sung by Tankian, and the music was co-written by Tankian and Malakian and sometimes Odadjian. Much of the music and lyrics on Mesmerize/Hypnotize were written by Malakian, who also took on a much more dominant role as vocalist on both albums, often leaving Tankian. System of a Down's song Lonely Day was nominated for Best Hard Rock Performance in the 49th Grammy Awards in 2007, but lost to Woman by Wolfmother. In May 2006 saw the UK publication of a biography of the band entitled System of a Down, Right Here in Hollywood by writer Ben Myers. It was published in the US in 2007 through the Disinformation Company. Additionally, in 2006, concert footage and interviews with the band concerning the importance of helping create awareness and recognition of the Armenian genocide were featured in the film Screamers, directed by Carla Garipedian. An interview with Tankian's grandfather, a survivor of the genocide, was also included in the film, as well as Tankian's and Dolmayan's meeting with then Speaker of the House Dennis Hastert, during which the two musicians campaigned for the United States government's official recognition of the genocide. Footage of Tankian and Dolmayan marching with protesters outside the Turkish embassy in Washington, D.C., was also used in Screamers. In May as well, the band announced they were going on hiatus. Malakian confirmed the break would probably last a few years, which Odadjian specified as a minimum of 3 years in an interview with Guitar magazine. He told MTV, "We're not breaking up. If that was the case, we wouldn't be doing this Ozfest. We are going to take a very long break after Ozfest and do our own things. We've done System for over 10 years, and I think it's healthy to take some rest." System of a Down's final performance before their separation took place on August 13, 2006 in West Palm Beach, Florida. "Tonight will be the last show we play for a long time together," Malakian told the crowd during Sunday's last performance. "We'll be back. We just don't know when." During the band's hiatus, Malakian formed a band called Scars on Broadway, which was joined by Dolmayan. After one self-titled album, the project became dormant and Dolmayan left the band. However, the band released their long-awaited sophomore album in 2018, titled Dictator, under the name Daron Malakian and Scars on Broadway. Dolmayan, alongside working with Scars on Broadway, formed his own band, Indicator. Dolmayan also released an album titled These Gray Men in 2020. The majority of the songs are covers/reimaginings of other songs by artists such as Radiohead, Afi, Madonna, and Talking Heads. A few of the songs included featured Serj Tankian as a voice lead. Dolmayan has also opened Torpedo Comics, an online comic book store. Odadjian pursued his project with RZA of Wu-Tang Clan, a hip-hop group named AC Hozien, worked on his session website/record label, and performed as a member of funk legend George Clinton's backing band. Meanwhile, Tankian opted for a solo career and released his debut solo album Elect the Dead in the autumn of 2007. He has continued releasing solo albums, recording them almost entirely by himself even after System of a Down had begun to reunite for tours. Reunion and touring 2010-2020. On November 29, 2010, following several weeks of internet rumors, System of a Down officially announced that they would be reuniting for a string of large European festival dates in June 2011. Among the announced tour dates included UK Download Festival, Switzerland's Greenfield Festival, Germany's Rock am Ring/Rock im Park, Sweden's Metal Town, Austria's Nova Rock Festival, and Finland's Provinsierock. The reunion tour commenced on May 10, 2011 in Edmonton, Alberta. System's first tour through Mexico and South America began on September 28, 2011 in Mexico City, ending in Santiago, Chile on October 7, 2011. From late February to early March 2012, they headlined 5 dates at Soundwave Festival. This was the band's first visit to Australia since 2005. The band have continued playing around the world. On August 11 and 12, 2012, they played the Heavy MTL and Heavy TO music festivals in Montreal and Toronto respectively. In August 2013, System of a Down played at the UK Reading and Leeds festivals, among other festivals and venues that year. System of a Down played their only 2013 US performance at the Hollywood Bowl on July 29. Tickets sold out hours after going on sale on March 22. On November 23, 2014, System of a Down announced the Wake Up the Souls tour to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Armenian genocide. The tour included a free concert in Republic Square in Yerevan, Armenia on April 23, 2015, their first show in the country. In a November 2016 interview with Kerrang, drummer John Dolmayan revealed that System of a Down was working on more than a dozen songs for their follow-up to the Mezmerize and Hypnotize albums. Although he stated that the band does not know when the album will be released, he added that, "I want everyone on board and feeling good about it. That's what we are trying to accomplish right now. There's a tremendous amount of pressure on us, though, because it's been 11 years, at least 12 by the time it comes out." In a video Q&A session with fans on July 2, in a December 2017 interview with Rolling Stone, Serj Tankian said that System of a Down wrote some new material, but was uncertain of what to do with it. He then said that he doesn't want to commit to a new album due to the lack of committing to long-form touring. Malakian singled Tankian out as the reason no new album had yet been released. Tankian detailed his view of the band's past and present conflicts and their overall situation, saying, "As we couldn't see eye to eye on all these points, we decided to put aside the idea of a record altogether for the time being." Dolmayan blamed all of the members due to the personal and creative differences that have been preventing them from recording a new studio album. Tankian also expressed uncertainty on whether the new album would be made or not, but did not rule out the possibility. He went on to describe how he imagined the album sounding. "It's gotta be organic. It's gotta feel right in every way." Odadjian said that the band has material written from like the last 10, 12 years, but is uncertain on if it would form into a System of a Down album or not. He also said that Malakian and Tankian have visual differences on what the album should sound like, and that the band's inner tension had been building far longer than fans would be aware of, despite having love and respect for one another nonetheless. He would later say that there is no conflict between the members, expressing confidence that System of a Down would eventually record a new album, and claimed that they have material written that would be their best to date. However, Tankian contradicts this statement by stating that there was no talk of the band recording a new album. Malakian explained that there is a mixture between the matter of different creative perspectives for the band's hesitation to record a new studio album and the lack of desire to tour. However, he did not dismiss the possibility of an album being made, but that it would likely not happen anytime soon. He feels that the fans don't care that the band isn't making an album, but I think a lot of the fans just want an album. He expressed hopes that the members would get together and record new music, but is content with the direction of his band Scars on Broadway, noting about the members' good friendship, but at the same time, "I don't see that happening anytime soon, that we're all going to get together and make a new System of a Down album." Malakian said that Tankian and the rest of the band members have been unable to come to an agreement over how to go about making new music, but insists that there is no negativity between them. Despite System of a Down's ability to perform live, Odadjian expressed disappointment at their inability to record new music, explaining that there has been new material written by the other members in the form of a possible new album. However, without Tankian's presence, no recordings had been made. He questioned why the band still hasn't made an album. With the lack of commitment to record new music, Tankian, however, is in favor of releasing a collection of previously unreleased System of a Down songs from the band's past album sessions, but would have to convince all the members in order to see its release. With the differences concerning the band members, Dolmayan became uncertain in wanting to make new music anymore. Although he did not want to put Tankian and Malakian at fault for the band's inability to record a new album, he said, "It takes 4 people to make this band, and it takes 4 people to unmake it. I think that we're all to blame. I could just blame Daron and Serj, because, quite frankly, they are the primary songwriters. So it's easy to blame them." But in an interview, Dolmayan exclaimed that putting the band on hiatus was a grave mistake. "I never wanted System to take a hiatus. I think it was a disastrous move for us because we never reached our peak." Dolmayan believed that the band could have risen through the charts if they had just kept going. On December 17, 2020, Serj Tankian announced in a Rolling Stones interview that he would release an EP by the name of Elasticity under his own name. Tankian had planned to release the EP in October, however, due to COVID-19, changed plans in order to release it in February 2021. In the interview, he explains that the EP contains songs he'd written for System of a Down that the band ultimately opted not to record. Artsac benefit singles and possible 6th studio album 2020 present. On November 5, 2020, in response to the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh War, System of a Down released their first songs in 15 years, Protect the Land and Genocidal Humanoidz, both of which speak of a dire and serious war being perpetrated upon our cultural homelands of Artsakh and Armenia. Protect the Land also received a music video and marked the band. Proceeds from the songs were to help Armenia fund and for humanitarian needs of displaced families from the war. As for a possible new album, Dolmayan told Rolling Stone, "If it was up to me, we'd have a new album every 3 years. But things aren't up to me. I'm at the mercy of my team, and although I fought for it for many years with band members, I've accepted that it is what it is. We do have 5 albums and now 2 songs. We've accomplished a lot in our careers." In the same interview, Malakian claimed that Protect the Land and Genocidal Humanoidz were originally going to be released under his own band Scars on Broadway. However, as the conflict came to fruition, the band had decided to come together and release the songs under System of a Down instead. Malakian also said he does not see the band making new music anytime soon, saying that the singles were a one-off kind of thing. Shavo Odadjian spoke with Wall of Sound in a follow-up interview discussing the conception of the songs, saying it was amazing. Even though we have had our differences, when we're in there it's just like brothers making music together. Like it all started. When asked if the two songs had inspired a new era of creativity for System of a Down, Tankian said Triple J in December 2020, "I don't know because right now we are focused on what's going on in Armenia. Artistry, lyrical themes, System of a Down's lyrics are often oblique or dead-aced and have discussed topics such as drug abuse, politics, and suicide. Prison Song criticizes the war on drugs, whereas Rolling Stone describes Roulette as a scared, wounded love letter. Boom, among the band's most straightforward and unambiguous songs, lambasts globalization and spending on bombs and armament. Commenting on the track, B.I.O. drummer John Dolmayan said it was inspired by an encounter he had with Knight Rider's actor David. On Mesmerized, Sigaro makes explicit references to phallic imagery and bureaucracy, while violent pornography harshly views television and degradation of women. System of a Down's discontent towards the controversial Iraq War arises in B.Y.O.B, which is a double entendre reference to beer and bombs, containing the forthright lyric, "Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor?" Paraphrasing Black Sabbath's War Pigs, Old School Hollywood describes a celebrity baseball game. On their album Hypnotize, Tentative describes war, Hypnotize refers to the Tiananmen Square events, and Lonely Day describes angst. The album title Steal This Album is a play on the book Steal This Book by left-wing political activist Abby Hoffman. System of a Down's firm commitment for the recognition of the Armenian genocide emerges in two songs, Pluck and Holy Mountains, which rank among the band's most political songs. Music. Stephen Thomas Erlewine of AllMusic stated, like many late 90s metal bands, System of a Down struck a balance between 80s underground thrash metal and metallic early 90s alternative rockers like Jane's Addiction. System of a Down's music has variously been termed alternative metal, new metal, heavy metal, hard rock, progressive metal, thrash metal, art rock, and avant-garde metal. Malakian has stated that we don't belong to any one scene and that I don't like the new metal drop a 7-string guitar sound. It is not my thing, at least not yet. In interview with Mike Lancaster, he also said people always seem to feel the need to put us into a category, but we just don't fit into any category. According to Tankian, as far as arrangement and everything, our music is pretty much pop. To me, System of a Down isn't a progressive band. But it's not a typical pop project. Obviously, we definitely pay attention to the music to make sure that it's not something someone's heard before. The band has used a wide range of instruments, such as electric mandolin. According to Malakian, he would often write songs in E tuning, which would later be changed to drop C tuning in order to be performed by the band. Malakian states that for me, the drop C tuning is right down the center. It has enough of the clarity and the crisp sound. Most of our riffy stuff is done on the top 2 strings anyway, but it's also thicker and ballsier. Influences in comparison to other artists. System of a Down's influences include Middle Eastern music, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, Scorpions, Morbid Angel, Death, Obituary, Eazy-E NWA, Run DMC, Kulthum, Abdul Halim Hafez, The Bee Gees, Grateful Dead, The Beatles, Red Hot Chili Peppers. One reviewer claimed that their music encompasses different sounds, from sounding like Fugazi playing Rush to sometimes treading close to Frank Zappa territory. Malakian has stated that I'm a fan of music. Dolmayan stated, I don't think we sound like anybody else. I consider us System of a Down. Odadjian stated, you can compare us to whoever you want. I don't care, comparisons and labels have no effect on this band. Fact is fact, we are who we are and they are who they are. Band members. Current members: Serj Tankian lead vocals, keyboards, rhythm guitar 1994 present. Daron Malakian lead/rhythm guitar, co-lead vocals 1994 present. Shavo Odadjian bass, backing vocals 1994 present. John Dolmayan drums, percussion 1997 present. Former members: Andy Khachaturian drums 1994-1997 occasional contributors. Toxicity percussion, composition on Toxicity, Science, Atwa and Arto. Steal this album, Bubbles. Some live concerts in 2005-2013 timeline. Discography: System of a Down 1998, Toxicity 2001, Steal This Album 2002, Mesmerized 2005, Hypnotize 2005. Awards and nominations.